Morning! We've just parked up in Threlkeld, where we've came through the car park, crossed the beck, came through the first gate. Leaving that first gate, we're just going to follow this wall straight up the hill, because we're going to head up via Gategill Fell, which is just there above me. That little lump that you can see on the side of Gategill Fell is called northerly. We're going to go up onto the summit of Blencathra, past Hallsfell, and then we're going to see which ridge we come down. Just be careful on this little bracken path. It's quite narrow and it's quite steep off my right hand side, so you don't want to turn an ankle or anything. I can assure you it doesn't take long to get through it. And the corner of the gate, or fence I should say, I thought there was a gate but there's not, is just here. As you can see from the corner of the fence, just slightly to the left, you can see steps heading up the ridge. That's the way we're going to go. The ridge of Gategill Fell isn't as used as much as the other ridges onto Blencathra, like Hallsfell Ridge or Scales Fell or Sharp Edge, but it's another great way up. It's a lovely ridge. It's got its own little grassy eret a bit higher up. If you've watched one of my earlier videos, Blencathra via the canyon, you'll see that the canyon tops out about 3/4 of the way up this ridge. I thought I'd do the entirety of this ridge today, just so you've got another route, another alternative route onto Blencathra. I think one of the reasons a lot of folk don't use Gategill Fell as a route is because there's no recognised footpath on the Ordnance Survey map, but as you can see there's a clear path on the ground. The pinnacle of rock we're just heading for is a low knot. From a low knot, we'll plod away at the rest of the ridge. The mist has been coming in quite frequently, so I'm hoping it's going to clear. It's definitely an improving forecast today. Should be 100% chance of clear summit, but it's rolling in and out at the moment. This is the ridge as we're just coming up to it. Clags just starting to clear a bit off the summit. Here's the Rockstar. To the right of me over there we've got Hallsfell Ridge. Behind that we've got Scales Fell. Somewhere up there in that clag is Blencathra's true summit, Hallsfell top. We've got to the steep section of the summit pull here, and at this point we could veer off right and take a slight traverse path that comes out on the ridge about 50 yards from the summit in the direction of Hallsfell, or we can go the steep way and head straight for the summit. On my canyon video I went that way, the easy way. So today we'll go straight for the summit of Gategill Fell. The other traverse path I showed you earlier is easier than this one if you don't want to do the scramble at the end. It's a little bit slippy today because we had a lot of rain, but you have this chute, it just drops down beyond the ridge to negotiate, but there isn't too much of it. Should bring us out very close to the summit. There's the summit, Gategill Fell. It's a burkitt and a nuttall. So you can see the grassy arete there, and that's the point where I said you could take off the side of the hill and find a traverse path which brings you up onto the ridge a little further along, or from the grassy arete you can come straight up this way along through this scree and rocky bits, and then up through this chute here, and then that final grassy wet chute onto where I popped out. So from Gategill Fell summit we're just going to follow the ridge along up to Hallsfell top, Blencathra's true summit. Thankfully the clag's cleared. I think that's it for the day now. It seems to have burnt off, so we should be okay. I did have to hang about for a bit on the top of Gategill Fell for it to clear. Put the drone, the first time I put the drone up, it just disappeared into the clag. Wasn't too happy about coming back because it couldn't work out where it was, but finally got it back. Another lesson learned: if it's thick clag, just be careful with the drone because it gets a bit confused once it gets, you know, in among the clag. Whether it was the camera that was confusing it or the GPS, I don't know, but it got confused and it just hovered above me at about 50 meters and didn't want to come down. The way I actually got it to come down was I turned the camera facing directly below it, and then it could see me, and for some reason as soon as it seen me it decided to descend, so we were all right. That's Gategill Fell, the one we came up, and that's Hallsfell Ridge. Hallsfell top, Blencathra's true summit, 868 metres. It's a Marilyn, a Hewitt, a Nuttall, a Wainwright and a Burkitt. From Hallsfell top we're going to head off towards Doddick Fell and Scales Fell. The ridge there is Doddick Fell Ridge, the one I did in my canyon video. So rather than do that today, we're going to carry on over Doddick Fell summit there and then go around and come down Scales Fell. Doddick Fell summit, 742 metres. It's a Burkitt. There's a ridge off it. I'll just show you when we get to the summit. That's the summit, we're just passing over it now, and that's the ridge below us. We're not going to do that ridge, we're going to do the next one along, which is Scales Fell. There's Scales Tarn and Sharp Edge to the left of us. Scales Fell summit, 682 metres. It's a Burkitt and it's our way off Blencathra today. I'll take you to the edge here and show you the ridge off. That's the ridge there just in front of me. That's Doddick Fell with all that beautiful heather. So we'll drop off Scales Fell into Scales, where we'll have a couple of miles of low level stuff back into Threlkeld. There's nothing too exciting about Scales Fell. It's just a nice easy plod off the mountain, or a nice easy plod on. My favourite way onto the mountain is Hallsfell Ridge. Absolutely love that ridge, beautiful rocky ridge. I think I've got a YouTube video on there of Hallsfell Ridge. My second favourite way up would be, I think it would be Sharp Edge, but I've never been up Sharp Edge for a while. In fact, Billy has never been up Sharp Edge yet. My old dog Ollie was up and down Sharp Edge like a goat, but I've never ventured over there with Billy yet. We're almost back down into the valley now. That's Scales below me and the A66. Keep plodding away at this very defined bracken path that traverses the hill just above Scales. We don't need to drop down into Scales. The path eventually drops us down to the wall here, close to Scaly Beck, the bottom of Doddick Fell, where we're going to have a little bit of a scramble to get across the beck and the gill. It's not so bad when it's dry, but it is a tricky little scramble when it's wet. It's a bit of a sting in the tail of the walk. A lot of folk get caught out by it, and I do believe there's been one or two accidents there as well. This is Scaly Beck. A little bit of a scramble down to the beck, and then a little bit of a scramble back up the other side. One to be careful of. The rock's very polished up here. As you can see, the rock is as smooth as glass, and I am almost certain I'm going to have to give Billy a hand here, so I'm going to knock the camera off. Billy got himself up, no problem. Now I just have to get myself up. There's some good handholds and some good footholds, but it is very slippy, so just be careful. We're up and we're above it now, so that's the tricky stuff out the way. Just a nice plod back into Threlkeld now. Thought I was going to have to help Billy up there, but I didn't. He found his own way up. Maybe he is ready for Sharp Edge, yeah? I'd forgotten how much bracken there is up here and how high it gets. Back in among Tickland. Lovely. In all honesty, it's not a bad path when you get up here. It just follows along the wall at a higher level than the lower path. And I can't actually remember where this path comes out, where it drops down, but I'm sure we're going to find out. Here's where it drops down. Doddick Gill. Drop all the way down into the bottom and cross the beck. Just here, we've got to ford it, I think. There's a lot of water in it. There's normally not very much water in it at all. That's the reason we climbed back away from Doddick Farm, because the path is private through Doddick Farm. Found himself another lal friend, look. He's ignoring you. You go back and find your mum. She's here, look. She is here, chasing Billy away. Another gill to cross, Gategill. There should be a gate at the top. That's Hallsfell Ridge. That's Gategill Fell. And that's the gate that we're going through. Then I think there's a funny little stile at the other side of this field. One of them throughy things through the wall with a tiny little gate on the top. One of them stiles you've got to let your dog off the lead so you can get through there. When they tell you to keep your dog on the lead, you know, if there's sheep the other side, you don't have any choice, you've got to let him off the lead. Not my favourite kind of stiles, these. Any sheep over there, Billy lad? Yeah, there's one over there. See what I mean? You can't like get your dog through one of these and keep him on the lead, can you? Sheep everywhere, thankfully. He loves them. Oh, bloody awkward thing. Come on, lad. Meh. We're not far away from Threlkeld now, so I'm going to wrap my video up. It's been a fantastic circular walk onto one of my favourite mountains, Blencathra. Look at this. Yeah, so I'd like to say thank you for watching. If you enjoy my content, please think about giving me a subscribe. So it's bye from me and bye from our lad, the rock star, who's busy hiding from these sheep because he's scared of them.